some bead. Good morning, everybody. Sunday, Father's Day, red fire. And we have made some progress on the car. Did a little of the work off camera. Didn't really feel like to film it twice.
Yeah, it's just you guys have already seen it.
It's cut and dry. It's it was putting the blower on, which again was just a lower the lower manifold.
Yeah.
Bolting it all down, 8, 9, 10 volts, not a big deal. And the head cooling mod, which we do want to get in today to show you guys where we're at with that.
So yeah, this is the blower's been off 3 times now.
3.
We had it back on yesterday, and broke my own rule. I reused the stock lower intake to head bolt to the heads, the stock bolts for the Supercharger.
Yeah.
And torqued them all down. The last one I was torquing only to 18 foot-pounds, and the head snapped off the bolt.
And that's why you don't reuse them.
Should have gone and gotten stainless hardware.
Let's flip this around. What happened here? So Ryan was reusing the bolts, which we said from the get-go, don't do.
And these aren't
And
torqued to yield.
And these were the new
Those were the factory lower intake.
Okay.
Bolts. Yeah. Everybody reuses this.
Yeah.
You know? So I was torquing this one down in the back right, and with the torque wrench, just 18 foot-pounds, and on the last turn, it wasn't even close to being tight. The head snapped off.
Yeah.
So I had to take everything back off, and thankfully it broke super high on the bolt, so I just grabbed it with a pair of vice grips and backed it out.
Yeah.
But then I had to go get new hardware, and so that was blower removal number 3. But here we are. It's back together.
So if you haven't, we haven't talked about it. If you guys didn't notice it, kind of the elephant in the room here, we have the JLT intake on this now, right?
Yeah.
The reason for that was we needed clearance issue. We were having clearance issues with the radiator hose, and obviously this is a lot slimmer than the bulky factory setup. You do notice the shield's off it, which again is it's gonna have to stay off because again we needed a little more clearance with the JLT shield. It was just rubbing up against the.
You can use the shield, but the way I'm mounting the Cobra Engineering, it's gonna hit the shield. So there's other ways you can mount this. The way I want to do it, it won't work with the shield. So a lot of guys will. I like to mount this close here. A lot of guys will mount it on the curve.
Correct.
Keep the hose. I want it here for the head cooling mod.
Yep.
This is the mod. This is the head cooling line out of AN that I built. And on the back side, I have a picture of it. We'll add into the video because you're not gonna be able to see it now.
So you can see the AN line just runs back, and
It's just a 90.
The only thing we changed was that rubber hose to the AN line to get rid of all that BS that we had before.
So I was able to reuse the LFP plug that goes into the cylinder head. I took a half NPT pipe thread to 10 AN fitting, screwed that in, put some Teflon on it, and then took a 10 AN 90 swivel and made my line right to here with a straight 10 AN.
And then that again is gonna
screw into the back of the Cobra Engineering, which is a half NPT to a 10 AN.
Because if you guys remember the last video you saw, this had the plug.
Yep.
Took the plug out.
Put that there.
Put that there.
So let's talk about this because I think this will probably be the main focus of the video. And James from Cobra Engineering does a good install on this. But a couple things. This does not come with any fittings. So when you get this, you get the thermostat housing. You get the adapters that go into the cylinder heads. All these fittings have to be ordered separately.
Okay.
So
well, that's good to know then.
You need 4 12 ORB to 12 AN fittings, which are these. 2 for here and then 1 for each head.
Yep.
And then you need, if you're doing the head cooling hose, it's a 1/2 inch NPT to a 10 AN. And then you're going to need 4 90 swivels. 12 AN
Now,
and then 12 AN
I'm
line.
going to ask you on the camera, can we add links into the description
Yeah.
for this,
Right.
so that we can meet? I mean,
These are Amazon fittings, guys.
Okay.
They're Evil Energy.
okay, or we'll just do that. Evil
yeah.
Energy,
Evil
Amazon. All right.
Energy. I've spent the money on the Red Horse stuff. It's the same. It's an AN fitting. I don't believe that there's really any difference. I haven't had any leaks. This has been on the silver car for a while. I've built AN systems and hoses and stuff before the silver car. These are the fittings I've been using for a long
And
time.
Evil Energy is all over Amazon.
Yeah.
You can, they make a bunch of stuff.
You
so.
can spend $300 buying Red Horse fittings and everything else if you want from, you know, your local speed shop or whatever. Or you can get these. I think they're like $16 each.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a problem yet.
Okay.
So, and then for the bottom part, we did the bypass hose delete on this. So he makes two options for this. This is the bypass delete. The thermostat's in here. The other option he has is it keeps the thermostat down low, so there would be a port on the bottom that comes out that your bypass radiator hose would plug into. So there would be no thermostat in this.
So would you essentially say that
I like this better.
This is a cleaner look?
It's cleaner. It gets rid of the thermostat housing. The hoses that come across the engine bay is all gone. So on the lower half, you have to buy the T, which is not included with that setup. This is not cheap, guys, but you get what you pay for. And James, unbelievable craftsman at making this stuff. His products have changed the Cobra game. Anybody that knows Terminators knows Cobra Engineering.
Sure.
One of the best guys around. He'll get it out quick. Great customer service. I can't say enough about James and the products. So this is the lower T. This goes to your degas tank, overflow tank, whatever you want to call it. It's technically not an overflow tank. It's a degas tank. And then this goes to the oil cooler side. This goes to the radiator side. And this will go. There's 3 hoses down there. And we'll show you.
We're installing this today, right?
Yep.
And so we will do. We'll walk you guys through that. I know he was throwing a lot at you, but this is all pretty just simple plug and play.
Made this last night just to kind of get a jump on things because we don't have all day today. So this is going to be my passenger side crossover hose. So this is going to bolt on just like so. So we'll start going through it. We'll show you guys how to make an AN line. And we'll just get at it.
Cool. All right. Well, guys, we're going to get the camera set up here. My arm is getting tired.
Before I forget, one other thing. We're going to make 0 gauge grounds for this too.
Oh, yeah. Good.
You
yeah.
can buy your own Big 3 wiring kit from KMJ. There's guys out there that make a turnkey kit. They make good stuff. You know, KMJ's stuff is nice. Or you can go on eBay or Amazon and get 0 gauge welding wire.
Do you have it out or no?
Yeah, you can get 0 gauge welding wire, some crimps, and you can make your own.
And this is extremely easy to do. And
Yep.
how much is this?
Not much.
Yeah.
Again, it comes down to if you want to make it yourself. KMJ stuff's all cut to length, ready to bolt on.
Sure.
This is a little bit more. You can see right here, I already made one of them. So when you're doing your Big 3, you're going to do 2 grounds, and you're going to do your power wire for your alternator. So right now we're only doing the grounds, but this is one to the stud on the top of the alternator. Wrap it around to the battery.
You guys see it right
there.
right in there. So again, that's coming off the alternator and then coming into the back of the battery.
Back of the battery.
So
the other one is going to be from the engine block to the frame rail.
why is this important?
Because the factory grounds on here are horrible.
They're terrible. Yeah. On most factory grounds, on anything, are terrible.
This is, and eventually this car will get a Mechman 250. I'm sorry, 250. That's what the silver car has. Right now it's on a Reman whatever alternator, but there's no big fuel system on here yet, so we don't need.
We're not pushing much out of it. Yeah, we're not worried about that. Yep.
But I am going to do the wiring since the car's up, and we're not going to do the positive wire today. I just want to get the grounds made.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
All right, well, let's get this going, get to work, start tearing this thing down. But more importantly, dude, where is Joe?
Joe's on his way.
No, we said we said ETA is what, 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
It's 10:16. Okay, if he's
Let
not,
me tell you something.
if
Joe can make an AN line better than anybody I know.
Joe is when Joe's here, Joe is he's a craftsman of the art.
Unbelievable.
I will give him that. And there's two things. There's a couple of things Joe's really good at: AN line and fuel systems.
And being Joe.
And being Joe. So we wanted the master himself here for these AN lines, and we're just waiting.
He taught me. I'm pretty good now.
No, you did good, man. Those look killer. You did a solid job. I mean, there's one thing you're good at is following direction.
So we're going to start by installing the head fittings, and well, I guess we're not going to put those in yet, but we're going to get these ready. You got to grease these up before you slide them in the cylinder heads. It's got O-rings on them.
Yep.
You want to make sure that that's greased up so they slide in. The O-rings don't get pinched or pushed off. So.
Easy enough.
All right, let's get it.
Let's get at it. Look who finally shows up.
Joe Bro.
Joe Bro himself. It's Cobra Joe. No more Lightning Joe. What you working on?
I'm going to do the tie rod ends.
Yep.
And I'm going to go ahead and change these ball bearings out. If you look on here,
See what you got.
That boot's tore pretty good.
Where's that? I can't really.
Right
It's
down
so
here.
dark in here.
It's kind of dark.
Yeah.
Original ball joint is just
Shot.
yeah.
So working on the ball joints. What else you said you're doing?
I'm gonna go ahead.
tie
and
rods?
Switch the tie rods out.
Cool. So you guys know the car's got, Ryan, what was it, 72,000 miles?
Yeah.
I think it's fair enough, a fair assessment with the age and the time and the miles. That probably a good idea to get that stuff all new again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And fairly inexpensive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
I think you should do the hubs because they're so cheap.
And we have the Cobra Engineering delete pretty much where it needs to be, right?
For the most part.
For the most part, right now, just kind of getting it sized up in there. It really is a nice piece, man. And then you guys can see here, passenger side of the head, how cleaner that is. It's nice and tight. There's just, you know, the AN, everything's, you know, bolted, not bolted, and they're screwed, whatever, and there's no BS for the clamps and all that other mess that we were dealing with.
I
So-
haven't bolted that head fitting down yet. I'm just kind of mocking it up inside here.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
What are you looking for?
We did touch on this, guys. Ryan, you know, at the beginning of the video, got the JLT, but check out the Supercharger plate there. You got that at where? Cobra?
Is the SVT store.
Dude, I forgot the. I can't tell you the last time I've been there.
That's what I do. I sit at the fire station and look at stuff.
Spend all the money you don't have,
Spend all the money I don't have.
that you can't afford.
Yeah.
Broke fireman. So that's a nice piece. I like that touch, and it does look really good on there. I didn't know they were still making it, so
Square.
it was a good little surprise.
I was going over there yesterday.
They have everything on that site.
Can we tell them about the other surprise?
I found, in my opinion,
The Holy
the
Grail.
holy grail of exhaust for these cars.
It's shipped out or boxed up
It's boxed and shipping is set for Monday.
for Monday.
I found a 2004 production, 2005 production-ish Bassani street comp catback for this, which has the slash cut sideways tips.
Yeah.
I've been looking for one of these long before I had a Terminator because I knew eventually one day I'd want that exhaust. I
Now,
found it on Marketplace in Texas. I don't know how I was in Texas, but somehow my Marketplace, I don't know if it was because of the cell tower that my phone was pinging on or what, because I have first responder or FirstNet.
the first net, yeah.
So it pings like whatever certain towers, I guess, throughout the day. I don't know how it works. But it took me to Texas, and there it was. So I messaged the guy, and he's awesome. He's on the Cobra pages and stuff, but he's like, oh, I really don't want to ship. And then I said, look, I've been looking for one of
This
these
is a good sign.
for years.
What you got?
Someone took care of this.
And
Tie rod ends all nice and greased, like someone.
You say put it back up there. Put your meaty hand back up there.
I'm wiping it like I got dirt on my foot.
so yeah, we found what I think is probably
You see, there's Joe sticking up. Oh yeah, look at that.
the grail of exhaust. And it's, you guys, the OG Cobra guys will know what I'm talking about. The tips are not cut on a normal slash. They're cut on an angle to follow the contour of the bumper.
Yeah, so
it's
they're
absolutely sick. I saw one on a Torch Red car back in 05. And I was like, oh my god, I need that today.
And the guy that has the exhaust had it on an 01 Cobra.
Took it off years ago.
And it's been sitting at his house for 12 years.
Something like that, yeah.
For his day of getting a Terminator, and he's finally just like, hey, you know what? It's not in the books for us.
Not
so
in the cards right now.
he sold it. And hey, man, I don't know. You know his name or shout out real quick?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll give a shout out to that guy, man, because solid. You know, going out of his way, getting it boxed up, didn't want to deal with shipping, but he hooked Ryan up, and you know we do appreciate it because between where's it at? Where's all your billet flow stuff at?
put away.
So between all the billet flow stuff, kind of the old school build that we're doing on the car, the exhaust fits, right?
Yep.
So it was a huge score and definitely a win. All right, we're gonna keep filming, keep working, and we'll come back and film again when we get to that point, when we get a little more ahead of this, and we're gonna start taking stuff on here, get it cleaned up while we're in there as well. All right, so we're at a spot now where we want to show you guys working with the AN lines. Got this all, the Cobra Engineer pretty much set where we want. The first line's on, which was he made yesterday. Head cooling mod is in place, and we are working on the driver's side of the head now.
Alright, to make an AN line, first thing you do, the fitting will come screwed together, like so. So you just unscrew this off. This pushes on.
Now he cut it with
Battery terminal covers.
some battery terminal, yeah.
And you want to get the hose flush to the threads inside that fitting. See how there's no gap there?
Yeah.
You don't want a gap
It is
like
dark,
that.
but yeah. Basically, you
Push
want to
this on,
flush.
twist that on until the hose is flush. Next thing I like to do is take this, tape it,
Electric tape, or this is that
just fabric tape,
Fabric tape.
whatever, couple wraps, just to protect the finish on the fitting. Goes in the vise. Leave yourself enough room to operate your wrench.
So again, he's got
See how
some clearance up there.
Take this, put some grease on it. Guys will use Dawn dish soap, WD-40, whatever. And then press that in. And as you're pressing down, you turn. If you just try to turn it, it's going to strip the threads and ruin the fitting. You have to put downward pressure on it. While I'm doing that, hold the hose, because if you don't, the fitting going in can push the hose back out of the other side of the AN fitting.
So would it be safe to say you're pushing down on the fitting and pushing up on the hose?
Yep.
Okay.
Get to a point where it starts to get hard to turn by hand. Take the tape, wrap a little wrap around here. Also have tape on my jaws, which is probably overkill for both. But
Yeah.
Did you use those vice pieces?
no, I ended up just doing it the way I used it. Joe bought over some AN vise fittings, like a soft aluminum.
That go into the vise itself. Yeah, yeah. I've seen those before. Yeah, as you guys can see on the bottom there, he's still pushing some tension up on it and getting the fitting pretty much not over tight, right? But nice and snug.
That's it.
Cool.
Take your tape off.
Now you, at this point, you have the AN line pretty much
Done.
mapped out how you want it. Now, what we did here before, nothing crazy. Just put the hose underneath, marked it with your hand where you want to cut it. It doesn't have to be exact, fairly close, and then just come like you saw him do with the vise over there. And if you don't have a vise, it's probably somewhat.
It's hard to do.
It's extremely hard to. Yeah. So you would essentially need a vise to do this, and they're cheap enough at Harbor Freight.
Driver's side fitting, stock temp sensor screws in, put your thread sealant on there.
And what thread sealant are you using? Or do you,
Permatech
just
high temp.
the Permatech? Okay.
This is kind of a, I like to set this and tighten it before I put it onto the car, because once it's in there, it's hard to get a wrench
Super,
to
yeah.
tighten this.
You are working with limited space, so
Yeah.
I know majority of the time when you put something together, you tighten it at the end, more or less.
We'll go back and double check
Yeah.
everything.
But reverse kind of on this side.
That's pretty much it.
Cool. Well, we'll get this, guys. We'll get this on the car, and thermostat's in there, you said, right?
Yep.
So
170.
the 170's in there. So at the end of the day, super easy. This was the factory hose, the radiator hose here. Just cut it down to size. So you don't have to, there's no cost in that. It came with these clamps, or did you have these clamps?
I bought those.
So it didn't come with any clamps?
No.
All right, so you will need some nice clamps. Again, for us, you know, we like to just have everything kind of uniform and dressed. So he's got these 1-inch clamps. Probably find these on Amazon.
That's where they're from.
Are they?
1.5
Inch and a half? Okay. On Amazon. And again, guys, this is pretty much done. And we just got to say, the AN line look is so much nicer than just having the hoses, the rubber hoses everywhere with a bunch of clamps. And it just really does at the end of the day. Every little touch adds up to many touches, and then it just cleans up the whole process and the presentation of the engine itself. Like, if you walk through here, you'll see like Ryan's got caps on the ends of these studs. He's got the like the wire loom here all covered on some of the wires. This is the oh shit, I just threw that off there, Ryan. Forget that. You know, just the tubing, the wiring, everything is just, you come in here and you see he's got the fabric tape. All the little things add up
Somehow,
to many nice things.
I installed this with my Gen 5 Whipple on the other car. I don't know how I did it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a tight fit.
It's been tight on both sides. The passenger side was a little tighter to do. Coming in here off of the intercooler block there, so it was just making it a little tight. Did get it in. We are going to go back and double check and make sure we don't have any leaks. So let's come over here to Joe and see. Joe had a run to the house. Joe, let us tell us what you got.
Jobra.
The Jobra.
Well, on his ball joint kit, has all the pieces. Didn't come with this. So
That is pretty bizarre.
very odd setup.
Is this a Harbor Freight piece?
Yep.
What is this?
This is Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, so Harbor Freight as well.
So
Okay.
yeah, I don't.
And you're working on the ball joints right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get these out.
Okay. Cool. Car
I want
should.
to take note that I did leave, but I didn't disappear. I came back.
He actually came back this time. Normally he would just be gone.
Came back with a Red Bull.
Yeah. The doctor said he should stop drinking.
I'm gonna be here and do work.
He needs a Red Bull. All right, so we're gonna get these ball joints done, finishing up those AN lines, and we'll come back and film when we get to that point. All right, guys, so where we're at right now on this, we have the top Cobra Engineering done. Just finished up the bottom. Got Joe in here putting some clamps on. This was probably, out of the entire day, the hardest part for whatever reason. This T-piece here, that Cobra Engineering piece, has two different ends, the sizes. So, had to go, make a run to the parts store, get some hose, cut it, make it fit. But at the end of the day, it's all in there right now. The top part that goes to the overflow tank, what we did, I'm trying to see if I can get in there and catch it. It's a little hard to see, but that was super close to the alternator pulley. So what Joe ended up doing was zip tying it. You can kind of see it right there. Point to it, Joe. Where you just
That
zip
way.
just zip tied it out of the way.
It wasn't that close. So when I zip tied it,
Yeah,
it didn't move much. It's just preventing it
from moving.
to the alternator pulley.
Sure.
It's got about a good solid ½ inch.
But other than that, this whole setup is done. We can essentially start the car. Got to get one more clamp up in there, and then we can test to see if we have any leaks. And then at this point, she should be drivable, right? Is there anything else that we got to do? No, I think this is it.
The top done. I did that ball joint. Didn't look in the engine bay yet.
Yep. Ball joint's done. We got the wheels on. We are going to finish the driver's side at another time. We really just got to get this moving so that Ryan can have those guys coming in because they're spraying insulation in the attic. So we had to get this mobile. But that's pretty much it. We'll get up top there. I'll show you guys again the other end of this, and we'll finish up this video.
For the record,
Yeah, what's up?
If you have to replace your lower ball joints,
Sure.
I suggest replace the arm with it. Moog offers the ball joint, which I did today, and Moog offers the whole arm assembly for not much more. I just replaced the arms on one of my cars the other day.
So what he's saying is this whole piece you can get from Moog, right?
Yeah.
Because it was a pain trying to get
it was a nightmare.
trying to get the ball joint in here, even with the press. It was a nightmare. For an extra couple bucks, you can get it from Moog with everything installed.
And this car was very clean to start with.
Yeah,
Some higher mileage or some northern cars, good luck. Replace the arm.
that's a good point. This is a Florida car, and if it was maybe a northern car, different story. But anyways, guys, this is pretty much all routed, all done. This is all plumbed up. Head cooling mods in. Cobra Engineering installed. So we'll wrap this video up. We're just waiting for Ryan to come back. He had to run and go grab his daughter. And we will get this old girl back on the ground. Alright guys, we got it all done. Checked for leaks. We found one little leak on that Cobra Engineering on one of the AN lines. Simply just hit it, tightened it up, no more leak. Now where we're at is basically, wait, we're just burping it? Yeah. Coolant, let it run. Double checking for leaks. Everything looks good so far, knock on wood. I'll flip this around so we can get a peek at what's going on. So the one that was leaking was this one right here. Small leak on the bottom. Just hit it real quick and everything was good to go. Anything you want to chime in with? So you guys were talking about, because I was with Joe on this. Huh? We got a little leak over there. Here, shut it off, Joe. Where's it at? On the head?
Have the fitting right there.
All right. So again, this is what. Yeah. See it right down in there. This is why we do this. This might be a couple times.
I forgot what you were saying.
Yep.
I forgot how much lower that plug drops when you do that kit versus
Yep.
a factory one.
So if you have the plug there, which what Ryan was saying, which makes sense. If you have the factory crossover, that plug sits up higher than this, correct?
Yeah. By like what, 3 inches?
Let me try to just tap that down.
But because you do the AN lines,
Is there no fitting to hold that?
when you do the AN lines, what it does is it obviously lowers that. So now this is the high point.
What holds this down?
There's
There's a like
piece
a
that
like a
snaps
Y
in there.
piece that snaps in there, and you bolt it down.
Okay. I just asked.
All right, we're just gonna kind of do some investigating and go from there. All right, we found it. It was that driver's side O-ring was pinched in between the head and that what do you call it? That plug.
Yeah.
So pull it out, push it in, no leak. But homeboy's about to stroke out. So I'll flip this around and show you. This is bad. This is not normal. Both cars are in the rain. So test driving it. It started pouring, and at this point we're cleaning up, and it is what it is. Car's done, on the ground. It's mobile again. SVT garage, got it done. Joe, huge help today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ryan, good job.
Thanks, guys.
We will continue this. We have the spring's done, so we knocked that off today. Next up, I mean, dude, we're in the cleaning. Maybe, oh, we got to do the driver's side ball joint.
Yeah.
You're going to have to add that. So
I slacked off to that.
we'll do the underhood detail, get the wheel wells and all those sprayed up like we were talking, and then we will get this thing paint corrected and looking good. But until next video, it's Chris, it's Ryan.
See you guys
Joe
in a couple months.
showed up for, you know, it was nice. It was nice having you, dude. Thanks for the help. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate your guys' support. And as always, we can't thank you enough. SVT Garage, we'll catch you.